What's up? Yeah.
Welcome to Back Issues.
Yeah.
Back again.
Yeah, we're back. As usual, it is Bray, Tim, Mel, and Isaiah, and we are kicking off Season 2, Episode 1 with Return of the Swamp Thing.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Hopefully you've listened to the commentary, but you can start with this either way.
If you haven't listened to the commentary either, you're gonna not know what these are about.
Yes, yes.
We're not gonna tell you, so listen to that too.
Yeah, watch Swamp Thing and then see if you can figure out why we're wearing hats. So
Yes.
we started with Return of the Swamp Thing because we started Season 1. This whole thing kind of started with Swamp Thing. So this is kind of an homage.
And then it grew out of that.
Yes, very much. We're making... Oh, jeez, we lost Isaiah. Oh, jeez.
All right, so on topic, everyone. Shall we start with the glorious things we liked?
Yes.
Yes.
Not me. I don't want to start.
I will happily
You can
kick
start
this
the
off.
next segment.
All right.
Yeah, visuals. Absolutely loved all of the visuals. I feel like I knew what was going on without needing to be fully cognizant of the dialogue at all times, which was really cool. I feel like a lot of the things that we said last time they improved upon, and that excited me. It was amazing. I really liked it. So
Absolutely. I'll follow on that. It was colorful. It was vivid. Like a perfect comic book. And they even started off with the title cards of all the comic books.
yeah,
Kind of giving you, even if you've never read a comic book or heard of Swamp Thing, you kind of got the feel for it right off the bat. And they stuck with that artistic style right through. And you know, all the English lit metaphors and, you know, the perfect color palette, the use of symbolism and the flowers that Heather Locklear's character is wearing on her hat, on her belt. The costume design, even to the point where story-wise it was kind of ridiculous, but the archetypes and the use of the different sort of, stock characters, but it worked for that before the Dark Knight era of comic books, you know?
totally.
Yeah, considering it was shot in 27 days, I feel like there's a lot of things that they should be very proud of.
Yeah.
Considering how little time they had. But I feel like the concept team must have been working a lot longer than 27 days.
Oh, yeah. This was probably somebody's dream
It was
time.
so
Like,
good.
they did this
Yeah.
free beforehand. And
Yeah, a feast for the eyes. I was very, I think you mentioned in the podcast, somebody said about the costumes being glistening and how joyous that was.
Yeah.
It was so good. There was a lot of my inner child just jumping for joy.
Yeah.
Really enjoying the feast.
It should be noted as well, Michael E. Uzlan was the producer on this as well. Followed this right up with Batman 89, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is the very next year. So that's pretty impressive too. So maybe this was his kind of, brainchild.
He was on a good roll. But Isaiah's sitting down there
Quiet.
with crossed
Very quiet.
arms, just kind of
I've literally just
separating
been,
himself.
I've been trying to figure out what I liked about this.
Oh, okay. All right, good. This is a conflicting opinion. Fantastic. Wonderful. Come on in.
No, that's the segment. I liked the use of primary.
Think of something.
I like the use of primary color. Like everybody was kind of like they were in orange or they were green
Yeah.
or they were this or that. I liked, unironically, I liked how schlocky it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Harsh. No, that's...
All right.
All that I can think about this ends right now. There's probably other things I did enjoy, but
Yeah. Well, that's fair enough. That's fair
You
enough.
seem to like Heather a lot.
Yeah.
I did like
just-
some
Yeah.
Heather Locklear.
You did take much more interest in
Very
the
engaged.
movie and what was happening.
Yeah.
There was a lean forward at one
Yes.
point
Well,
in
like I
time.
said, I used to watch T.J. Hooker when I was like 12 or 13, and it was like the perfect age to fall in love with Heather Locklear, so
Yes, fair enough.
it's not my fault.
I enjoyed the scenes with the two kids as well.
I did like the kids.
Like-
Neither of them could act, but it was kind of like...
But no one could act, so it didn't stand out.
It didn't
right?
stand out.
It
I was like,
that's-
kids, at least they were cute.
The scenes are kind of out of place, but also I'm like, I feel like you needed a change of
Yeah.
kind of...
To make it feel like we were moving the plot forward.
I don't know, yeah.
A feel of a plot.
It was just nice, like a reset. Like, okay, cool. What's coming next?
This was a very action-heavy movie as well, and I think
lots of explosions.
they used that to tell like what was kind of going on a lot. Like their stunt guys were really cool. I liked what was going on.
I did like how like everything in the movie was made out of dynamite.
Yeah. Yes. There was a lot of explosions.
It's like a house blows up at one point.
The whole house.
It was,
that makes sense because the lab was exploding. But I mean, like when the cars are blowing up, and then, the house just catches fire and it explodes. Like, that's stupid.
When it happened,
the kids' homes as well, and they don't seem to react to the fact that the kid's house has literally just exploded. They're just like, oh, Swamp Thing, yeah!
It was a trailer park. What did they really do?
The kids did their own stunts as well, which was nice. Like, you don't see that very often. He does
that was cool.
full-on somersault up and over the...
8th grade roly-poly.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was cool. So, power to you. That's cool.
He was roly-poly.
You guys were great. Yeah, I don't know. So, it wasn't like a brilliant film by any means.
I mean, there's a lot... To me, the stuff I didn't like about it is more the stuff that I liked about it, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Especially considering what we just watched.
Who would you show this to? Like, would you show this to, like, a bunch of kids? Like, it's not like even, like...
I don't know.
It was 14A, we said?
Adult kids?
Adult kids-ish?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't like watching Terminator 2 for the first time as a kid. It's like, you wouldn't even really care, I don't think.
I think someone brought it up earlier tonight when we were talking. This is the fun kind of movie you want on at a bar when you just want, like, you don't need the dialogue because you can very clearly like be like, hey, Swamp Thing's beating some people up with a baseball bat, yes,
and that's all you need.
And that's kind of what it is.
That's all you get.
We said that about Swamp Thing as well. Yeah. If I remember, it was a good visual feast for what was happening. So I think it's a good sequel.
Yeah,
it was a good sequel.
Yeah.
It stepped everything up again.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Should we
more explosions, as is quite standard with a sequel. Yeah. But that's so that is what we liked about it. Stay tuned for
what we didn't like.
Oh God.
Cyclops.
Oh God.
My back.
Yeah. All right. So on to what we don't like. Tim clearly doesn't like back issues.
No, I love back issues, but now, like, I might have permanently got them.
Seeing as I feel like
listen to the podcast to know why.
Yeah. There's the in jokes there. Seeing as you have so much to say, Isaiah, please kick us off with what you don't like about Return of Swamp Thing.
I did enjoy watching this movie, but mostly because of how terrible it is. Because it's kind of like a fun terrible. What I didn't like was I thought the Swamp Thing costume in HD it does not hold up. Like it probably looked better when people watched this in the theater in 1988, but it looked like foam. Everything looked like it was made out of not plants. I was just very not okay with that sex scene. I thought that their relationship made no sense. It's like, ooh, you're terrifying and let's eat some... It's weird. It happens in like moments. The acting is just wall to wall terrible. And I would say that it's shot like a soap opera.
Yes.
It's just like ooh, wides and there's like hardly any close. I don't know. It's just. But like I like that. Like I think it was schlocky.
But don't change it.
No. Like I would watch that movie again. I would. Yeah. Like, it was schlocky and it was terrible and like it just poorly made and obviously and very clearly it was shot in only 27 days. But yeah, I don't know. I like. It's not really a knock against it, but I think it's terrible. But the movie's terrible.
Yeah. All right. Nicely done. Mel, you wanna?
I would say I found that there was a lot of leaps in the characters and the choices they were making. I felt like Heather's character was weak when they wanted her to be weak and really strong when they wanted her to be strong, but it was like flipping.
Wasn't
a coin?
Something like that in the first one too with Catwoman's character? She was like, the more she got like dressed up, the like less action heavy she became and less
Yeah.
competent.
Yeah.
But
Right.
she also managed to knock like a trained soldier out with a shovel and then get his gun and like mow down some guys at
Yeah.
one point in time. Like she was badass too. It was a very interesting conundrum that you put.
Yeah, it's like
Bring
she's
up,
a
yeah.
screaming damsel. I think she almost got taken advantage of twice
Yeah.
Yes.
in the movie, and
That
but
skirt shot.
then in the
Yeah.
next shot, she's kicking the guy and getting away from him, and then shooting a gun and like
Yeah,
very
throwing grenades and
precisely
stuff.
shooting.
Yeah,
a
Yeah,
gun.
yeah.
With a shotgun and reloading, like in a car.
Yeah, a moving vehicle.
And hitting guys that are like clearly too farther than the range.
Oh,
we're
she's
talking about.
Not too far
sniping
for
them.
her.
She's sniping them off the roof.
Yeah.
Like, that's how good
And
she is.
I think that's just an
Yeah.
example. I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of the characters had kind of these things that didn't marry up, narrative wise. But yeah, I mean, I still loved it.
Yeah. I'll go.
Tim?
You're
Yeah.
done hating?
Well, yeah.
It never stopped.
Yeah. Is this just going to be 2 minutes of you talking about the chair that enveloped you?
Yeah, it killed me almost. It ate me. It was that ruined the movie almost. Like, I don't think I can ever watch this movie again. Like, I
I'm
enjoyed
feeling
it.
a tingle down your spine.
I might, like, it was like right on to like
It was dramatic.
my coccyx.
Your coccyx.
Coccyx.
Yeah.
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 Like straight down, and it didn't just like crumble or collapse. I don't know what it was like. The chair opened up and
Yeah.
pulled me through. Like I sped up on the way down. Anyway,
I turned around and Tim had disappeared.
I don't.
Next episode, Tim will be slightly higher because he'll be sitting on one of those ring cushions.
I might have a neck brace. But anyway, I can give a minute on this. What did I not like? I don't know, the stock characters again. Like, I like them visually, but it would have been cool to have, like, more of, like, it's a mad world, like, different groups of characters kind of dealing with the compound and the haunted house or something. Just, if they don't want to make Swamp Thing the main focus, or, like, a voiceover with Swamp Thing, he could have been, like, off contemplating his humanity or his loss of it or something even. This even would have benefited from like him doing a Lois Lane poem in the sky, right? Kind of thing. Something else. I don't know. It's just with all the costumes and the set design, everything, so much work obviously went into it. And then keeping up the schedule, like keep in mind, working 27 days straight in such an action heavy movie and an environment moving, and like Arcane is in way more of this one, and he's an old guy, and it was very physical performances from everybody involved, and then not to mention the behind the camera crews. Like that's just I'm pretty amazed with what they pulled off. But it just sucks when you don't have the script to live
Yeah.
up to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, it's like in this new era of comics and stuff. Like I'm so excited for the James Wan TV show.
The Swamp Thing. Yeah.
So-
It should be cool.
So-
I
But I like the costume.
Me too, actually.
Yeah.
The it affects the ratings, but we'll see. We'll see what the ratings bring us. I think each of you guys have brought up really valid points. I would have to agree with you. Story-wise, I think it's like a very basic kind of telling, but the biggest issue I have with this is the fact that Swamp Thing has a very like human persona. He doesn't seem to be this sort of monster creature, which is what I really liked in the first one. I liked that he wasn't able to actually communicate. It was more through that kind of stuff. So I get where they're going with it, but I don't know. It just didn't really work with me. Swamp Thing was too much of a hero character. The amount of times where he enters and there's this big blinding white light behind him as though he's this like Superman kind of figure.
Every entrance, like
Yeah,
even
exactly.
the shower curtain.
Yeah, it was just a little bit too much for me. I like the monster aspect of the shower curtain, of him like
Oh, so
rising
cool.
up. That was really awesome, but I wish they would have embraced some more of that like horror stuff. Like we saw it with the like octopus kind of like squid thing right at the start. That monster got portrayed very like in a horror kind of way, which was I
Yeah.
would have preferred if they kept that.
It was more of the
Yeah.
zombie vision, right? Like
Yeah,
we had
yeah.
some more of that, like just often it's the monster point of view.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
But then we lost that, and he was like, you could see his lips.
Oh.
Yeah, because then you get to
Yeah.
make one of the human characters the one that we follow through, and then your thing with the kids could have been interesting. Like, so
The one henchman who was the hat club, Well, check out the podcast for that. The hat therapy class, right? Where they all make their. Well, I don't want to give too much away.
Jeez, yeah.
Collect your back issues.
Alright, you've heard what we like, you've heard what we don't like. Next up, rating.
Wow! I like the rating part.
Yeah.
This is segment 3.
Alright, welcome back. Yeah, third segment where we rate the movie. So, for those of you who haven't seen this before, number 1 is the lowest rating, and top rating is 5 as well.
We do something weird, though, on our show, because we can't be consistent.
Yeah. So what's the weird and wonderful thing from the movie that we're going to choose as our rating system today, ladies and gentlemen?
I think it definitely 100% has to be the awkward watch over the sleeve.
Awkward
Oh,
watch over
yeah.
sleeve.
Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about, you will.
Yeah, you need to watch that movie.
Watch that movie.
Yeah.
Watch that sleeve.
Yeah, could be
Another
a
thing that made
neat
me uncomfortable.
drinking game every time you see.
Oh, that's a good drinking
Yeah.
game.
Okay, so shirt watches. Shirt watches out of 5. Who wants to go first?
I will. I'll start off the season. The shirt watch was really weird. Really, I'm sure there's a story behind it that we'll never know. I don't know. There's a commentary track. I resolved to listen. There's 2 commentary tracks actually on the Blu-ray, and I promised to listen to them both. And maybe I'll get to the bottom of the sleeve watch. But yeah, otherwise it just makes no sense and it's kind of irritating. If the movie was written better or a lot worse and shorter and I don't know, it's not schlocky enough, it's not good enough. It's not even quite average. It's a sequel. It's a okay sequel. Out of 5, I will give it. I don't want to start off on a negative. I don't know if I want to give it a half. I wouldn't call this the center of bad movies, so I'm only going to give it 2 sleeve watches.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Wow.
Evil Tim
Evil
is in the house for season 2.
He shaved his beard off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we forgot to talk about this. I don't know
yeah.
if you recognize.
This is
Yeah,
Tim.
Yeah, this is Tim.
Yeah.
Weird. So,
I'm the same Tim,
yeah.
Yeah.
but from the evil universe.
More on that on our
Darkest timeline.
commentary track
Yeah.
for Return of Swamp Thing. Who's up next?
Yeah, something I found kind of interesting was somebody mentioned this sequel is kind of like a CW in the vein of show. I feel like the first one was more of a bit more gritty, kind of more.
Yeah.
Like
Well, the
FX
Wes
or
Craven
something.
feel was there in the yeah.
Yeah, and I in hindsight thinking about this, I kind of wish they'd honored that a little bit more, but kept all of the great stuff about the film in there. So I'm going to give it 3
Ooh.
awkward
Okay.
wristwatches because I did enjoy the ride a lot, and I feel like a couple of changes here and there would have just made a huge impact. So yeah, I don't think it was a disaster.
Okay.
Nice.
I like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I rated Swamp Thing. I don't want to rate this one higher than Swamp Thing.
That was my concern, right?
Yeah. That doesn't matter. We're very inconsistent. Like you said, we can't possibly be consistent.
No.
Yeah. It's a feeling.
For me, this one was.
Painful feeling.
It was good, fun watching a bad movie sort of way. I would watch it again in a bad movie sort of way. Everything looked cheap. Everybody acted poorly. Nobody was. They were just as inconsistent as we are.
It's weird.
I'm gonna give it 2 0.5 wristwatches over the sleeve, just because Heather Locklear automatically gives it a 0.5.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I should have.
right.
Wow.
Fair enough.
Wow.
But yeah, it's just like
The Heather Locklear scale.
it's a fun movie,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fun to look at, but it's just terrible.
Okay. Interesting. It's always interesting when you two partner up, I must admit. But I don't know. I really enjoyed this movie. I think the inner child in me really enjoyed this movie. I have a great love of like terrible action movies as well, and this felt like a cross between a really bad soap opera and any like Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
Like combine those together and you get Swamp Thing.
If it was like kids, it could have been like more like Home Alone.
Yeah, like
explosions,
and
like
because this is a PG-13 rated movie, I think I have to judge it with my like child self in mind, because I feel like that's who the movie is probably targeting towards. It's starting more towards kids. So for me, I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed the ride on this one, so I'm going to give it 4 awkward
What?
wristwatches.
awesome. I think that might be your
over,
highest.
Yeah.
Whoa.
What has happened?
Goodness.
Season 2 of Back Issues is getting crazy.
Yeah. I know. But no, I had a lot of fun on this
soft
one.
in his old age.
Look, in the end, I think the main thing is, like, at the end of Swamp Thing, we really wanted to see, like, green ooze coming out of Swamp Thing. We wanted to see, like, glistening costume. We wanted to see, like, more, like, relevant monsters, all of that kind of stuff. And so, for me, I feel like we saw all of that. Yeah, like, other things weren't necessarily in place there. But I feel like the main things I wanted from like a sequel to Swamp Thing happened.
Right.
So
What more could we want?
I know, like honestly, what more could you want? Like 27 days, guys.
Oh wow!
27 days.
27 days is
they did it.
crazy.
I
So
mean, that's as long as that guy was trapped under that boulder. Where he cut his arm off.
Wow. Ooh, what if they
So it's
cast
a long
James Franco as Swamp Thing? That'd be cool.
oh wow. That would be
That might be
interesting.
interesting.
Well, that's an interesting segue because now we come up to
the
my
pitch.
favorite segment, the pitch. So stay tuned.
Mine too. Oliver's, right? Is that your favorite? Is that your favorite?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the pitch session.
Yeah, this is like the best part.
Yeah, so for those of you tuning in at home,
we said
most of
about
the
voting.
others,
I like voting too.
We should
Just
call
a
it
really happy guy.
pitch sesh.
a pitch session. Yeah, for those of you joining us for the first time,
It's all awesome.
we are now going to pitch what we would have done instead for Return of Swamp Thing. That's not to say that this isn't, awesome in its own right, but if you could change anything, like what would it be? So who would like to
Yeah, I
kick
think
us
they
off?
should have considered the relationship between the two leads.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A little more than perhaps they did.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of feeling perhaps, the classic. She should have been scared of him to start off with, or
Yeah, she was never.
Or perhaps she thought that he was meddling in her business and didn't want him getting in between her and her dad. Or, like some kind of conflict with their relationship at the beginning, so that then they could, go on a journey together. And it would just, I love the idea of, like, love at first sight, but I also think that the story is a little more juicy if you start somewhere different to where you end up.
Yeah, like an arc would be cool.
Character arcs in a Swamp Thing movie.
It's crazy.
Well, they
the
could
things
be
that happen.
the two animals on the two plants on Noah's Ark.
Right.
Yeah.
Something, yeah, maybe.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I would be curious to play with that, and maybe they don't need to make plant love. Maybe they could just have some kind of soft connection at the very end of the movie where I don't even know.
Something they could have planted a
it doesn't
seed
have
in
to
the ground
be
or something.
sexual. Like
Yeah.
it could have just been something that's like,
Metaphorical.
oh, they're going to become a couple. Not like they are a couple and they've made love and they're probably going to have lots and lots of plant babies together now. And that's what we're all
Please.
thinking about at the very end. Or at least I was. Is that weird?
No,
She
that
does-
was
she
weird.
does-
Considering, yeah, a
grows out,
freaking
like,
blossom
plant
comes out of her foot and
Yeah.
grows. Like, I feel like
I'm
that's
gonna go
a fair
back to
assumption.
the other segment talking about things we don't like. I didn't like that.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I wasn't
either.
okay with that.
I think I'm gonna have a nightmare about that
Ugh.
tonight, probably.
Gross.
Yeah.
It's
Sprouting.
gross.
It was like that Hannibal. Did you guys see the one where he had the mushrooms he was growing out of
Oh, yeah,
people?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
It was
the
weird.
One
It
with,
was-
Hugh Dancy and Mads Mikkelsen.
And Mads Mikkelsen, yeah.
Amazing show.
yeah,
But,
Brian Fuller, great creator guy.
Yeah. But Swamp Thing. Who's next?
Mine's really easy.
Okay, great.
I would have, because like, the idea is like it's how you would have made this specific movie better
Yes.
at the time.
Yes.
So, full R rating.
Yes.
And give it to Roger Corman. Period.
Oh,
That's
nice.
what I would have done to make this movie better.
Nice.
That would have
That's
worked.
very succinct.
Probably, eh?
It's
Yeah.
very succinct.
Yeah.
Way to wrap it up.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Or, can I go next?
Yeah, by
Yeah,
all means, please.
okay.
Please.
Or all of that, but instead of Roger Corman, give it to like David Lynch, and then you get the kind of right
Wow.
something
Yeah.
a little bit
Nice.
trippy that
Trippy?
way,
Yeah.
right?
Nice.
And then you get the emotional relationships
Mhm.
being like, and then so you could have had like them sitting in a room that would have been less creepy somehow, you
Yeah.
know, in their minds, right?
Yeah.
And have more of the she could have like inhaled like a dandelion or spores or something, and it could have been more, I don't know, less like in your face and the weird touching and the
Yeah.
feet mushrooms and stuff. I don't know. That would have been different. Again, I like the subplots. I would have given the kids more to do. I said maybe have them be like the reporters, you know, or trying to get a story, and maybe they had like a
Nancy
school
Drew.
editor. Yeah, more
Yeah.
like that. They could have been the like bumbling Hardy Boys and then had the other character. But then that would have been Stranger Things or something. So,
Yeah.
which is great. But yeah, it's too bad. I really hope they take all of that. If they answer our checklist for the TV show Swamp Thing, we're in
That
for a
would be
treat.
amazing. We'll see how we go.
Yeah,
You
but
good?
yeah, I'm good. That was basically it. I
Okay.
enjoyed it though.
All right.
Brazer, how
Cool.
would they get that one extra star?
Yeah.
Wristwatch, I should say.
Okay,
It's really
um,
perfect for you already.
Well, it's fun. I like, you know, my rating is in regards to like, it's not a thinking person's movie. Like, you know, I know it's a high rating, but it's a fun, like, switch your brain off and just be like, okay, I don't have to worry about anything. I can escape visually for a little while. That's the joy of like some of these movies. I feel like, you know, everyone needs that every now and then, just a little escape. But talking about escape, tie into what I would do with this movie. I would actually have Heather Locklear's character have already been captured by Arcane before the movie begins, and or maybe no, sorry, they have an established relationship at the start of the movie, and then it's Heather Locklear's character that we're following throughout. So we see like those two already at kind of odds, and then she escapes and into the swamp, and then meets Swamp Thing out there, and it's more of the monster like damsel relationship than like an actual human interaction. And then Arcane is, as always, kind of gonna do whatever the fuck Arcane wants. I don't know.
Like he even said, Arcane called it Beauty and the Beast, but then they never did that. Like even Belle is afraid of the Beast, right?
Yeah. Like if you're gonna have a different female like love interest for Swamp Thing, like just have it be about like that meeting. Maybe she's been out in the swamp for a few days, and like the only thing she finds to eat is these mushrooms that Swamp Thing has provided for her, and then she goes on this
Like little
like
gifts.
drug induced.
He's like afraid of her, right?
Yeah.
That'd
Yeah,
be cool,
yeah,
and he's
and-
like giving her things from a distance.
Yeah, and that's
like,
how he
I like it, like
communicates
Boo
with her.
Radley.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, so like I would like to see like
That's
that kind
cool.
of a
I like that.
developing relationship thread. Like I think that would have been interesting, and that would be where I would go with it, and then you know just see what happens from there. Because I think this movie suffered from just kind of jumping all over the place a lot and not really giving us someone that we could focus on. Because Swamp Thing was just the guy that came in and saved the day. He didn't do anything else, right? So. That's one of the hard things about connecting with him. The kids are
Yeah.
a good way to connect with it, or the relationship, right? So I don't know. I feel like we're all kind of touching on similar things.
Or Sarah Douglas even more. Like she was kind of an interesting component of the film, and then she kind of disappears out of it.
Yeah.
I'd love to see more of how she got to her decision of helping
Yeah.
that
Like
didn't
at what
make
point
sense.
she's like he's making monsters, killing people, all that, and that was fine.
Like she had a moment in the bathroom.
Yeah.
She read it in a magazine.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Young and Easy. Jesus, why was that magazine everywhere?
Did anybody else notice how the guy who, when he was looking at it, he's like, oh, this would look better with fins? When he was like looking at the porno magazine.
Yes.
Look better with
He said
fins.
on Missy.
Yeah.
Oh.
The middle spread lady with the fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
The kid said that?
Yeah.
No, the scientist guy that turned it to the test.
Oh, Asthma Man. Or
Somehow
whatever.
he got that magazine.
Oh.
The same magazine.
Maybe he had a copy of, who knows.
It's very, very
it was
popular.
maybe it was a popular
That kid's
porno
dad.
mag.
Maybe that was his dad.
That was his camera.
Why didn't they have that as a connection or something? Like,
Your dad turned into a monster kid. I'm sorry. He just got, like, absolutely fried as well. Jesus. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Swamp Thing. Wow.
What a journey.
Yeah.
I've been in.
I enjoyed it though.
yeah,
I did.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Great 88 minutes.
For me, I just wanted it to be more that. Like, just
Yeah.
go full.
Steer
Yeah.
into the
Embrace
steer.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, embrace it even
Yeah.
more than I feel like they
Go
bathed
full
in the
swat.
river of Ham
They
quite
sh-
nicely.
And they should have
for this,
embraced
but-
it the way they embraced hats.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Very much so. They were very, like, all about the hats.
Love them hats.
Therapeutic.
Yeah,
awesome.
Tim's
Like
thinking of starting a hat making
a hat making
charity
class. I
Yeah.
think that would be
or
nice.
class.
Yeah. Like the red hats. It could be
Yeah.
both.
Yeah.
You could have to make your hat and then, donate
Everybody
to charity.
sits on the ground, no chairs.
In a circle.
Yeah.
Like a hat. It's like you have to be the hat.
Be
know?
that.
What
Feel
kind of hat
the
would
hat.
you be?
Ooh, that's a good
I'd
question.
definitely be this crown.
You'd be the
You
ball
would-
cap.
yeah.
And the Burger King. This is not brought to you by Burger King.
I think you should
No.
actually just start rocking that.
Just the crown.
Always.
I should
Like,
just be
all the
like,
time.
was it Biggie? The album cover of Biggie. With
Oh, I
The
think so.
crown.
Yeah. Now that you've got the
I
beard
like the
on, he's
tilt as
getting
well.
old.
Yeah, you got it
Yeah.
perfect.
Well, I did the tilt
Okay.
because of that. I believe it's Biggie.
It's cool.
Nice.
I like it.
Notorious B.I.G. The
Choice.
You're a hat.
Glorious.
crown.
Check us out on Instagram. We got back issues. We have back
Twitter,
issues.
we got back issues.
We got back issues.
He got back issues.
We got back issues.
Now get yours.
Rate,
Peace.
review, and subscribe. Check us out.
Twitter and Instagram.
Twitter,
Same one.
Instagram,
Mhm.
and stay tuned for Patreon details as well.
Check your
Yeah, be cool.
chairs, people. Check your chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't wear your watches on the outside. What else can we tell people? Not to do?
Just some warnings.
Tips.
Hot
Yeah.
tips.
I think that's all the tips I got.
Yeah.
You know, the tips?
I don't
We gotta
know.
do this.
And on that note, we got back issues. Y'all take care. Thank you so much. Love you.
Love you.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. You can like, share, subscribe, and if you want to see more, just click the link in the description.